Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome, guys, to the Masterbuilt Fathers Morning Show. My hoodie is tripping. What's up, everybody? Look, every morning, not every morning. Let me be honest. Monday, Thursday, Friday, I'll have a live 7 a.m. Morning show for fathers called the Masterbuilt Fathers Morning Show, and then on also let me get this right. 7 a.m. 7 p.m. Monday and Thursday. I'll have a 7 a.m. show on Friday. Okay. So 7 a and 7 p, Monday and Thursday. It is Monday, everybody. I'm going to have two shows today. One this morning, 7 a.m., 7 p.m. Good morning, everybody. Again, welcome to the Master Built Fathers Morning Show. I just want to talk to dads on their way to work, man. I want to talk to dads out there while you're getting ready. I want to talk to dads out there while you're stumbling and putting your shoes on and trying to get kids out to work. And some of you may hear this on your way to work later on. Some of you on right now. I'm good to see you all coming in this morning. But happy, about to say happy birthday, happy freaking Monday, everybody, to the Fatherhood Morning Show. I'm a dad, guys. I'm a dad. I have four children. Four children. My son is 21. My twins are 18, and then I have my twin girls are 18, and then I have a little one, 8 years old, little baby girl. And so I am a dad, man. I get fatherhood is not easy. Fatherhood is not easy. It's not easy. And guess what? We need each other. We need wisdom. We need knowledge. We need understanding. And you know what? It's a whole plethora of dads out there. It's fathers out there. Some of y'all never had dads. So a lot of you guys are guessing at what it is to be a father, right? I had a dad. It's like some of us. Some of us had a dad, but then dad had all kinds of flaws, right? That would throw you off, right? So I had a great dad, but my dad, he had anger issues. So I grew up with anger issues, right? But good morning, man. We all, and then some of us out there, we looking for a father, we looking for mentorship. Listen, man, it's tough out here for men. It's tough out here for men, as it is. It's tough out here as a man as it is. Now, when you start talking about fatherhood and taking care of somebody, man, some of us, it took a long time for us to really take care of ourselves. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm not talking financially. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, socially. It took a long time for many of us to figure out what it is to take care of ourselves. God knows what it is to take care of a baby. I was 22 years old when I had my son. 22 years old, right? 22 years old. I was 27 years old when I had triplet daughters. Man, I had no clue what was going on. I had no clue what was happening. And I didn't really have any help. I lost my father. He was 59 years old, right? So there were some things that I just didn't grab a hold of from him. But I'll be on here, man, giving principles, man, talking. Let me know who's in the chat. Let me know when you come in the room, man. Say what's up. I just want to greet you all. But this morning, I'll only be on for about a half hour in the mornings just to get your day started. Again, welcome to the Master Built Fathers Morning Show. I want to talk to y'all about a few minutes, man. And if you got any questions, any comments, jump on in there and let me know. But I want to talk about the power of a steady father. I really want to get into that today. I want to talk about the power of a steady father. All you guys on your way to work, man, if you got a comment, throw it in the chat at any point. But I want to spend, man, these shows will be about a half hour. A morning show. Again, I have a morning show Monday and Thursday for fathers, 7 a.m., 7 p.m., Monday and Thursday. All right. And on Friday, we'll have a morning show, and that'll be about it. All right. But I want to talk about the power of a steady father. And it's we always got stuff going on, y'all, as dads. It's always something going on. I know in my life, right now I'm trying to buy my son a car. Of course, he's on my back about that. Y'all know what it is to have a son and or have a kid who just wants stuff right away. Kids don't feel like they should wait for anything. Patience is not in the heart of a child, right? So they want what they want all the time, right away. Right? I'm trying to buy him a car. I just found out one of my twins is dealing with some medical stuff, and she's an athlete, and so I'm trying to work my way through that. I got the little baby. She's only a second grade, and she needs all her father's attention. I'm working through that. And my other daughter's in college, man. It's always something going on. Somebody always needs something, whether it's emotional, whether it's financial. Somebody always needs something. So it's a lot, man. Being a father, I was on a I think I was on Threads or something like that, and I heard a guy say, "Man, fatherhood is easy." And I sat back and I was trying to kind of understand what he was trying to say. But the truth is, man, fatherhood is not easy at all. Fatherhood is not easy at all. I don't know whether he was trying to impress anybody, but you guys know, this is our community, right? You guys know, like I know, that fatherhood is never an easy thing. Fatherhood is far from easy. It's far from easy. Why? Because everything's up and down. Some of you are married, some of you are in a relationship. When you're raising your kids and then you have a romantic interest in your life and you're trying to love them, it's always something going on, right? You got to figure out how to love everybody around you, right? Everybody around you has a different personality. This is another thing about fatherhood. If you have multiple children, they all have different personalities. They all have different personality, they all have different mindsets, the way they approach life, right? So I want you to know, man, I want you to know how important. I mean, literally, man. I want you to know how important you are today. Let me pause there, because I think someone needs to hear that. Before we get into anything else, I think some of you need to hear just how important your position is as a father. I mean, the position of a father is more important than the CEO. Is more important than the president. A father. I mean, you have your children's future and legacy in your hands. I mean, where they go is up to the words you give them. I mean, fatherhood is far from an easy thing. It's challenging. And I'm gonna tell you the toughest part about fatherhood for me, and y'all let me know in the chat how you feel. But the hardest part of fatherhood for me is constant sacrifice, right? It's constant sacrifice. That's the thing. It's constant sacrifice where you're trying to um be there for your children, right? You're trying to be there for yourself. It's so many things you're trying to be there for as a father, right? And so the thing we want to focus on today is what it means to be a steady father. Steady, right? Steady. Because why? Your kids are up and down. Your lady is up and down. Finances are up and down, right? What it means to be a steady father means that you have taken yourself out of or off of the roller coaster, and you decided at this point, everybody else is going to be on it. The kids is going to be on it. The lady is going to be, everybody else is going to be on there, right? But this is the truth. You can't be on the same ride everybody else is on as a father. You can't. You can't. You have to have a control, right? I'm not saying being controlling. I'm not talking about controlling your family. What I'm saying to you is you have to have a semblance or of control, right, over yourself. You have to. You have to have a semblance of control over yourself, man, because life will come. Life comes fast, and life don't slow down for nobody. It's coming. It's coming. And this is the thing about life ain't waiting for you to be prepared for it as a dad. So what do I have to be then? That's the question we got to deal with today. What do I have to be? What do I have to be? Do I have to be a rich dad? No, it's nice to be a rich dad. I'm not a rich dad, right? It's nice to be a businessman father. It's all, but the greatest thing you can be as a father is steady. It's no, listen to me, fathers. Look, we are Masterbuilt fathers. This is our community. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no better virtue than you can have than to be a steady father. A steady father, a father who knows how to think, a father that knows how to think, a father that knows how to slow his pace down. I've been saying this for years for us, man. Listen, manhood these days, if you're going to succeed, if you're going to be a successful man, a successful father, the first thing you got to do is control your pace. Control your pace, right? Don't let life just take you. I was listening to a documentary. I was watching a documentary one time, and I heard Michael Jordan say, he said, the reason why I was better than everybody else on the court was because the game was slow to me. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said the game was slow to me. In other words, He said, when I'm going down to court, I see things nobody else is seeing. Everybody is sweating and running and hot and trying to figure it out and all those things. He said, I could look at the floor and I could see where people were going before they went. He said, when I shot the ball, the hoop looked this big to me, right? Was the hoop actually this big? No. Was everything on the floor running in slow motion? No. But you know what he had control of? He had control of his pace. He was steady in his mind. There's no difference in being a father. When your daughter gets hurt, or your daughter's boyfriend breaks her heart, or you get a bill that you cannot pay, or your wife is acting in an emotional way that you can't get control of, and you're angry and you're pissed off and you're tired and you still got all these responsibilities as a father, guess what? The only thing that's going to bring you through that is a steady mind, not even a beer. Is a beer nice at the end of the day? Yeah, it's nice for some people at the end of the day, right? Is a glass of wine nice at the end of the night? Yeah, but guess what? None of that is going to fix the issues that we have as fathers. The only cure to get into a place where you really feel like you have a handle is to be a steady father. Now, where do I have to be steady at? I got to be steady here. I got to be steady here. Why? Because there's some problems, fathers out there. Listen, y'all, there's some problems out there that money ain't going to get you out of. There's some things your children are going to run into that money ain't going to get you out of. You're going to have to find a place of where you're emotionally connected as a dad. Let me know, y'all in the room. I see y'all coming in. Let me know where you from, where you watching from. And for some of y'all that just coming in, today is my first day. I'm doing a 7 a.m. show and a 7 p.m. show, Monday and Thursday. On Friday, I'll do a 7 a.m. show. All right. So I'll put the schedule out so y'all can see it. But I'll do 2 shows today. I'll do a show today and a show this morning, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. tonight. All right. Eastern Standard Time. All right. But brothers, this is the thing where I have to be steady. I got to be steady in my mind. There's a scripture that always blew my mind. I want to share it. A double-minded man is unstable, and a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. What is a double-minded man? What is a double-minded man? A double-minded man is a man who can't find focus. In fact, in this book right here behind me, go get this book. Go grab my book, Dear Brother, Becoming the Man of Your Own Dreams. Let me put it up here on the screen for y'all. But go get this book today. In fact, you can go get it on christianwonders.com, right? The Blueprint to Becoming the Man of Your Own Dreams. The first chapter of this book is called Fix Your Focus. The first chapter. Because when I was writing this book, I don't write books to help other people. Usually my books are written to help me. But the very first chapter of this book is Fix Your Focus. You got to get a hold of yourself. You can't lead your family, bro, if you don't have a hold of yourself. You can't deal with the emotions of your lady if you can't get a hold of yourself. Why? Because when you can't get a hold of yourself, you know what controls you? Anger, rage, impulses, addictions, right? For me, I know for me in relationship, the first thing I used to do when I was younger and didn't have no control of myself, as soon as something pissed me off, I was out the door. I'm literally, I'm able to move from anywhere I am because I was a runner emotionally, right? I'm able to just get out of there, just get out. As a father, you can't run. Where you going? Where you going? So I got to work on the steadiness of my mind as a father, right? Some of you out there right now, man, you're trying to get to know your kid better. You're trying to understand your kid. Your kid done changed. They're not 5 and 6 anymore. Some of you got teenage kids. You got kids at different ages now, right? And that's another thing about fatherhood. In order to be a steady father, you have to be a father that's continuing to learn your children, right? My little girls, when they was born, 3 triplet girls, holding them, right? Kissing them, they 4 or 5 years old. And now all of a sudden, boom, my daughters are 18 and they in the mirror playing in their hair. And I'm like, wait a minute, I have to adjust to that. Because why? The father you were, listen to me, the father you were to your 7-year-old is you have to be a completely different father to a 19-year-old. Right. And so, like I said, my son is 21. My twins are 18. And I had an 8-year-old. And guess what? My son just turned 21. I had to understand what it is to parent a 21-year-old man. Man, listen, you're on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let YouTube know we got something great for fathers. I had to keep adjusting, y'all. I had to keep on adjusting. I had to adjust to his attitudes, to his moods, to his motivations, right? The lessons I taught him then were different than the lessons I taught him now. You can a steady father. What does a steady father do? I see somebody in the chat. I'll be right over there. A steady father, you're able to see when you have to shift. That's the thing about it. That's the thing about it. When you said the link, you need the link. Oh, YouTube link. YouTube link. Just go to Christian Winners podcast. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you want to go over to the Christian Winters podcast on YouTube. All right, go over to the Christian Winters podcast on YouTube, and you'll be right with us. All right, get over there, hit the like button, everybody. My man Wayne Bizzle in the morning, in this morning. Good morning, my brother. Huh? As a man, you got to keep on adjusting. You got to keep on adjusting. Adjusting to what? Adjusting to change. If you're a man that can't adjust to change, oh, I was about to say something, y'all. I ain't gonna say that. That ain't fair. I was gonna say if you're not a man who can't adjust to change, you're less than a man. That's heavy wording. So let me back up off that. I had a straight shooter as a father. I didn't have a father that played around and he was a straight shooter. So, but let me say this. And the reason I'm taking that back is because some of us have never been taught this. So I can't challenge you on something you've never been taught. I can't challenge you on something you've never been taught, but I'm teaching you today that as a steady mind, you got to be able to shift. You got to be able to adjust, right? Right? I remember my daughter, one of my daughters, she maybe early in the summer, she called me. She said, "Dad, I want you to come over to mommy's house in an hour." I said, "Well, okay, well, what's going on?" She says, "Well, Dad," and I could almost see her face smiling, she's talking to me. In fact, I did a podcast on it. She says, "Dad, my first," she's scared to say her first boyfriend. So I had to say it to her. I said, "Oh, your first boyfriend is coming." She says, "Yes, Dad, you got to come over here and I want you to meet him." Now, first of all, the thing that hit me the most, forget the boy and forget how I'm gonna approach him and how tight I'm gonna shake his hand and how hard I'm gonna look him in his eye. The first thing I thought of when my daughter said, "I have a boyfriend," is I almost cried because I was so happy. I was so happy, not because she had a boyfriend. I was happy because she called her father and said, this is the guy I like. I need you to meet him. Right? I need you to meet him. Now, what is that? As a father, I had to do what? Study my mind and adjust to this, right? It wasn't that this is a world-shaking event, but what I'm saying is I realized that my daughter went from this little 12-year-old girl who was running track, went to a little 13-year-old who's hopping off the couch and watching her videos and dancing, to now she's 18 saying, "Dad, I want you to meet my boyfriend." What do I have to be at that? I can't be the same dad she had at 12. Y'all follow what I'm saying? I can't be the same dad she had at 12. I got to be a different father. I got to adjust to this girl. And what do I have to do? I have to, listen, I never knew what it was for my daughter to have a boyfriend. I had to adjust to that. And the question you got to, my God, man, let me cook today. The question you got to ask yourself in these transitions: am I growing with my children? Am I growing as a father? Am I growing with my children? You can't be a stagnant dad and be a good one. Y'all hear me? You can't be a stagnant dad and be a good dad all at the same time. You got to grow with your children. You got to grow with them. So what? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. A man, listen, what's a double-minded man? Your mind is on too much. Now, I know some of y'all would say, "Christian, listen, my mind is on a ton of stuff. My mind is on this and that." Listen, when you're raising kids, though, y'all, listen, I'm going to tell you, y'all know we grown. Bills going to come and go. Money going to come and go. There's one serious relationship that matters more than any other relationship. And that's the one you have with your children. Why? Because you are now responsible to help them carry legacy. This is the thing, y'all. I was up about 4 this morning, and you know what hit me? Something hit me so hard. This thought hit me so hard. You can't stop growing. You can't all of a sudden think you know. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what your kid will come in the house and tell you. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Let me share a story with y'all. Well, I mentioned that I lost one of my triplets, right? It was a Monday morning, and I woke up, and my baby, one of my children, my oldest triplet, Lydia, didn't look right. I'm talking about steadiness of fatherhood. I'm talking about steadiness of fatherhood. She didn't look right. Something was looking wrong. Her breathing was off. Now, at the time, I was married. My wife was asleep over here, and the babies were in their carriage. You know, the other two, and Caleb was sleeping somewhere around my feet. Now, in this moment, I realized something's wrong. I didn't wake my wife up. I didn't wake her up. I couldn't wake the kid. I had to figure it out. I had to figure it out. All of my manhood, all my fatherhood, had to figure it out in that moment. I grabbed my daughter and I'm holding her, and I'm trying to figure out what's wrong. And I realized, okay, something is really wrong. And I'm calling 911. At this point, I still didn't wake my family up. Because why? I had to create a steady environment. This baby, my child, seems to be dying in my arms, and I had to find a steady mind. I had to listen, y'all. I had to find a steady mind while my child was dying in my arms. You see my fatherhood? Huh? Come on, y'all. Let me see who's in the chat. Good morning, everybody. Yo, cuz. Good morning. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, my brother. Huh? In my mind, I had to study my mind. Right? Some of you have an insane child's mother. You never know how her emotions are going to go. You got to steady your mind. You cannot go on the same emotional journey she is. You cannot allow her pumping and priding of you to try to get you to do something. If you're going to be a good dad to those kids, you got to steady your mind. You got to steady your mind, man. How do I steady my mind? I slow down, number one. I slow down. I slow down to steady my mind. Why? Because stability is about how you think, not about how you feel. Stability is about how you think. What do I think right now? What am I thinking? Am I in touch with what I'm thinking? What? Right? Stability begins in your thinking. It's nowhere else. Stability. You don't listen. I know, because you grow up and people say, oh, I'm gonna get stable, man. As soon as I get stable, and most of the time they talk about money. Listen, look at Hollywood. Money will drive you more crazy. Too much money will drive you more crazy. You better be steady in your mind. Right? Why? Because now the thing you're pursuing will take you over. You're looking for that great job. Hey, dad, go get the good job. Could take care of your family better. Right? Go, man. Go for it. Go for all the stuff you want to go for. But you better make sure of one thing, my brother. You better make sure you're steady in your mind. You got to make sure you're steady in your mind. Because if you're not steady in your mind, the thing you have or the thing you pursued or the thing you thought would be good for you now is ruining your life because the thing is not bad, but your mind wasn't ready for the thing. Listen, having money is not a bad thing. Having a relationship is not the bad thing. The question you got to ask yourself, am I steady in my mind? Especially as a father. Life can come take everybody else on a ride. Life will come try to take you on a ride. But as a father, you got to find a space where you can steady yourself and not go with your emotions. You know how many brothers right now, how many fathers, listen to me, father, you know how many fathers are in prison right now because they couldn't control their mind. And now they're 30, 40, 50, some of them a lifetime away from never seeing their children again because in a moment, they couldn't steady their mind. Study your mind on your way to work this morning, bro. Study your mind. Study your mind. Because when you get to work and you got to deal with a idiot boss or somebody on your back or somebody trying to make your day hard, you got to study your mind. Why? Because you can't walk out of there. You can't punch your boss in the face, get pissed off, I quit, throw everything up in the air. Then what? You know what you weren't thinking about at that point? You weren't studying enough to think about your children. Oh man, come on, y'all. I'm no guru. I'm not saying this stuff, y'all, because I'm no guru. I'm saying this stuff because I'm a father and I had to figure it out on my own. And I don't want you to. I don't want you to figure out life on your own. Why should you have to figure out life on your own? That's crazy. That's crazy. You've been doing that already. That's already too much. As a father, you're a leader. And the best leader is a calm one. I know I need a haircut, y'all. I'm gonna do it. Right? A steady man realizes he can't control everything. His goal is not to control everything. His goal is to do what? Control myself. I gotta control me. Oh man, we almost at our mark. We almost at our mark time. But listen, some of you guys, let me put this up. Some of you guys that are in Philadelphia. Some of you fathers that are in Philadelphia. I do have an in-person gathering I do every Sunday from 9 to 10:30. Man, we come in, we drink a little coffee, we laugh, we joke, we share our hearts, we share our wins and losses. If you're in Philadelphia, there's the address right there, 5356 Chew Avenue. Come meet me, man. It's just a gathering, man. Gathering of fathers, strengthen each other, and then we go on home and start our day. All right, gentlemen. Let me close this show. I want to challenge you. To reflect this morning, guys. What can I say that will help me be a better, steady father today? What can I say to myself to help me be a better, more steady father today? Number one. But this is how I want to close today. But that's the question I want you to carry. What can I do to be more steady as a father? What can I do to be more steady as a father? Number two, this is where I want to challenge you. Before you clock in the day, some of you already have, some of you about to. Before you clock in the day, before you get on that phone and you start scrolling, the mindless scrolling we sometimes do, before you rush into your day, I want to say this to somebody. I feel led. I'm a spiritual man, y'all. So I do feel led. I want to talk to some of those brothers for a second. I just want to take a pause from my closing. I want to talk to some of you brothers that are dealing with high blood pressure and stress and all these things. You have to stop. You have to breathe and you have to pause. Why? Because at some point, your body will give up to the stress you're under. And you know who will no longer have any direction? Your children. You see how this keeps on coming back to our children as fathers? Your health. I'm a kidney transplant patient, man. Health. If I'm not here, what can I give them? Or if I'm here and too sick, what can I give them? Right? So before you scroll, man, before you start your day, before you figure out what kind of leadership you got to do and what your family needs and all the different pressures, don't rush your morning today. Don't rush your morning. I want you to root yourself in this morning. Root yourself so that you have a steadiness about yourself. Why? Because the world doesn't need more perfect fathers. The world needs steady, present fathers. Let me pray for us before we go. Lord, I thank you for the fathers that are on here today. Thank you for all the brothers that came, whether they're dads or not. Lord, thank you so much for this morning's show. Thank you for the opportunity to be with them. They're on their way to work. They're on their bus. They're driving. They're tying the boots up, Lord. They're dropping the kids off, trying to get that coffee. Lord, bless my brother today. Bless him today. Let him know that he's not by himself. He's not by himself. He is with men who care about him. I pray that he would know that we have his back in our community. Masterbuilt fathers, a nation of fathers. Bless my brothers today, Lord. Most of all, bless their children and make them a big blessing. May your confidence be lifted today, my brothers. Walk this day out with no fear, no shame, and no compromise. And always remember this. Yesterday was history, and tomorrow's a mystery. All you have is right now. What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do about it? Hey, Dad, love you, bro. Proud of you. Hey, I got a 7 o'clock show tonight. Remember, I'll leave y'all with my schedule. 7 a.m., 7 p.m., Monday and Thursday. 7 a.m. on Friday. 7 a.m. and p.m. Monday and Thursday, 7 a.m. on Friday. Have a brilliant day, fellas. You're loved. Peace.